Welcome to the 411 podcast. Tonight we have Miss Melissa coming in from Aspire to Fly. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody out there who has been hanging out there with me. We have had quite a ride for the past, I guess, month or so with some of the technical difficulties that we have been experiencing. I've had a couple people reach out to me, such as Miss Carol Cordera. Thank you so much for reaching out and just letting me know that they're still checking for me, still hanging in there with me. I've been told that you can check out a better experience on YouTube. That's at Laren Gaines on YouTube. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I think we kind of have some things figured out a little bit. What's going on, Miss Regina? How are you? Honestly Vegan, Miss Regina is in the building on Instagram. I think we have turned a corner when it comes to figuring out some of these technical difficulties. So keep our fingers crossed and see what we have going on tonight and see if we actually fly high and soar tonight with Miss Melissa from Aspire to Fly. So it's the 16th. Halfway through this month, more than halfway through this month already. And yeah, time is flying by real fast. So, what's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for joining in. So, if you're out there on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're streaming from, please go ahead and like, comment, share, tag your friends, let them know what's going on. And honestly vegan, right? Honestly. No, seriously, if you are watching this stream from whatever platform it is, going forward, for the real people who like the 411 podcast and really want to get these messages that come through, please, if something's not right, if the audio is not right, if the video is not right, let me know because I will pause it. We will go back to square one. If we have to go back to just being on Instagram, that's what we'll have to do because I don't want to play with it to get it to a point where some people get disappointed because the messages can't come through because it's not coming across clear and correct. So those of you out there that have been rocking with me since day one, you know how I feel about this. Please continue to let me know. You can always text me 609-738-0611. We can just chat it up. We could do whatever. But honestly, if something's not coming through 100%, let me know. I appreciate it. You ain't going to hurt my feelings. Listen, what happens is when I actually do come across the replay, when I do watch it and I realize that it's jacked up and it's not the way that I want it to be, I'm really in it. So give me a heads up so that we can get this thing right and clear. And on that note, we almost coming up on our second year anniversary of doing the 411 podcast and reading between the wines. So we can say cheers to having some good streams going forward from this point on. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. Song of the day. I love this group. Mint Condition. For some reason, I was into Tony. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I forgot about Stokely. So you send me Swingin. How many of y'all know that? You see Swingin, 1993, Mint Condition, from the Mint Factory album. I'm sure if you an 80s baby like I am, your parents had this record. They were playing it around the house. You send me Swingin. Is there anybody out there that sends you Swingin still to this day? We getting ready to get into some of these questions tonight. What's going on, Bethany from California? How are you doing? Speaking of, pretty brown eyes? That joint right there, that gets me still to this day. You know when it come on and they start whispering in the beginning? Pretty brown eyes. What? You know it's getting ready to come on when them drums start to play. Shout out to Mint Condition. Shout out to Tony. All of those late 80s, early 90s groups that really got us through it. Groups like Guy. We can go through this whole thing. Yeah, we here. 411 podcast. Now, speaking of which, I want to say thank you so much to Miss Lakeisha McMillan. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties, and I had to apologize to her because of the stream wasn't the way I wanted it to be. So we definitely gonna have to do a, part two and have her come back on. And the thing that gets me is that it's always when I have like the realest conversations with people. We really get in and we really break some barriers, and then we have some nonsense that goes on. So that's the part that upsets me because I can't preserve that experience that happens when I connect with almost like a complete stranger, because I learn about my guest every night, most of the time, if this is the first time that they've been on, right here and there, just like you're learning. I'm learning right along, which we gonna learn tonight with Melissa. But that's the part that is very upsetting. But she was a trooper. Her and her family definitely supported, and I appreciate that. Miss Lakeisha McMillan, please everybody go ahead and support Simply Unique LLC. My brother, Mr. Nate Perry, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to my Brooklyn family. We have Nate Perry. We have Joe Calico. We have David Wayne Fox. We have people in the Bronx too. So, but shout out to everyone from Brooklyn. I appreciate you. We have Miss Surya all the way from India, author from India that came on the 411 podcast. Thank you for supporting my friend Shantae, aka Enrich Mom. She found me on Twitter, so go ahead and please check me out on Twitter. Again, that's at Laren Gaines. We Good Media. Thank you for supporting. Go ahead and check out that podcast. Ro Wang, all the way from South Korea. Shanti Refuge. She has 26 journals. She is a friend of the show. Switch Boutique. Mr. Trenton, New Jersey himself. I haven't said that in a while. Trenton, New Jersey himself. Mr. Farrell Higginbotham. And then Heavily Inspired Skincare. Y'all go ahead and check that out. Beautiful page on Instagram. And my friend, Mr. Alex Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. I love the way that rhymes too. Coquito, all the way from Puerto Rico. So me and Alex Coquito, he has a show called Midnight Vibes, and I'm his co-host. So you might want to go ahead and slide on over to his YouTube page, Alex Coquito, and you can check me out in a different light. We talk about everyday, news that comes through, some of the things that we don't talk about here on the 411. So you get to hear me and my commentary on things that go on. And it's so funny because half of the time I don't watch the news. I don't really know what's going on with most current events. So he throws these things at me and we just laugh and we have a great time. Check out Midnight Vibes. It's midnight, Saturday nights on his YouTube page, Alex Coquito. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and rewind this thing a bit before we go ahead and get my special guest in here. And with me and Lakeisha, what we were talking about is it wise to reason with an ungrateful person? And I know it's tough. Most people are going to say absolutely not. No, you don't want to go back and forth with an ungrateful person, but I gotta, put this on you. Sometimes people don't know what they don't know, and they might just be, I hate to say it, but just ignorant to whatever they've been learned or whatever they taught, and that's all that they know. So they might be ungrateful, but that might be all that they know. They don't know any better. And it's easy to say, I'm not going to reason with an ungrateful person until it's somebody that's real close to you, until it's a family member, until it's somebody on your job, until it's somebody that really matters. You going to go back and forth with them, or are you going to agree to disagree? Are you going to let them have the floor and then you say what you have to say and try to get through to them the best way that you possibly can while skirting around the situation? At the end of the day, the bottom line is we got to love people for who they are and accept them for who they are. So is there a reason to go back and forth with them? Should you just accept them for who they are? Or are you doing the Lord's work? Are you loving that person unconditionally no matter what? Because if not, then maybe it's not real. I don't know. You tell me, is it wise to reason with an ungrateful person? Of which, when it comes to all of that, let's talk about some intuition. Do you know when it's time to sit this one out? So does your intuition kick in and say, nope, we're not doing this? You know better than this. We can go ahead and slow this thing down and switch this up a little bit. But intuition, does it kick in? Do you know when it's time to sit this one out? I got a story to tell you about this one. Talking about sitting some things out. Can't even believe this. Do you know when it's time to sit this one out? I would say I'm so thankful for whatever he has put in me because I know when it's time to sit things out. I know when this just ain't working for me. I know when I'm in an environment that is not good for me. I can almost see the storm coming. And when I sit things out and I hear the stories the next day or the next week or the next month, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so thankful that I knew better. I knew that this wasn't for me. I knew that this person wasn't for me. I can sense people. I can feel when someone's no good. I'm just thankful for whatever I got. I don't know what it is, but I know when to sit things out. I know when enough is enough. I know when to say, nah, nah, bro, I'm not feeling this. Speaking of, bruh, I don't want anybody calling me bruh. After what I experienced today, I want no one to call me. I don't care who you are. Don't call me that. You don't have to call me something else. I have seen a grown man speak to his woman, calling her bruh. Then I seen this woman turn around speaking to her so-called man because he was being very disrespectful. She had a nerve to turn around and call him bruh. What's going on in this world today that men, that this is what we do? Everybody want to run around calling each other bruh. That's something where you need to have your intuition kick in and say, I'm going to sit this one out and you are not for me. But to see how this woman still went hard for this dude after he spoke to her like that was just mind boggling. And check this out, the mother was there. So now you letting this man disrespect your son? Excuse me, you letting this man disrespect your daughter. Therefore, he's disrespecting you. He's sitting here calling your daughter bruh. What is going on in this world today? The fact that this is what we got going on. Everybody's running around calling each other bruh. I'm good with all that. People that don't even know me. Moneybag said that. Moneybag Yo said that on the Mary J record. Stop calling me bro. You don't even know me. Like, that's so true. People don't even know you, and that's the first thing that coming out of their mouth. Like, y'all cool like that. Mm. She needed to sit that one out. She should have saw that coming. Her intuition, her mother should have known better than that and say, this ain't, her mother should have said, bro, this ain't working for you and you need to find somebody else. Let me see what my special guest has to say. Miss Melissa from Aspire to Fly. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, how are
How
you?
are you? How's everything?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about this bra thing?
You know what? I got I got triggered a little bit. I'm a teacher. I'm a second grade teacher, and at a TK through 8 school, and I hear young kids all the bruh. And a couple of my students was like, bruh, and I'm like, and I stop and just look.
They did. Wait, they said that to you?
They said it to me, and I stop and I look.
See?
And, Miss Smith. I'm like, yes, let's get it right. we don't do bruh.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not your bruh.
That is so funny.
Wow. So that's what it got me thinking about when I heard you say it. I was like, I remember one of my students, bruh. I was like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
it was interesting today.
Not your bruh.
Wow. I can't believe that. I can't believe they said that. Well, that makes sense because, he was calling his woman that, so I guess what they do nowadays. But hey.
It is, and I particularly don't care much for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not your bruh. So that would have been my response.
Yeah. Well, welcome on into the 411. I appreciate you for coming on. Looking lovely tonight on Instagram.
So you're sweet. Thank
Anybody out there watching on any other platform, head on over to Instagram. They definitely got it going on here tonight. What's going on, Seb Raps? How are you? So let everyone know where you are calling from.
I am. So let's see. I'm in Marietta, California, which is an hour away from San Diego, which is where I'm from, and an hour away from LA. So I'm like right between like the two, hottest cities here in Cali. But I am from San Diego. I'm all about the beach. That's my sanctuary. So it's still light out. You can kind of see the light behind me a little bit.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Well,
so yeah, it won't get dark till about 8 something.
I'm quite surprised because for some reason I thought that you were overseas, like in the UK or something. That's what I thought originally.
Really?
Yeah. I interact with so many people that half the time I don't even know who the heck I'm speaking to.
Where from? Yeah.
So the fact that you're from California actually is interesting because I will be taking a trip to California soon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We might have to connect. Yeah. Let me know when.
So I will be making my way, God willing, and I'm praying to make sure that this works well. But I really want to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame because I need to see a special star, which I don't know if you can figure it out, but I ain't going to say the name, but I need to go see it.
Does it have anything to do with the 411?
It sure does. That's one of my things that I want to do. That's what part of my bucket list. I really need to take a picture with that star.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, most definitely do it. Let's see, as an adult, my first time remembering, because as a kid, I've lived in California. My family, my dad was in the military, so I lived in Scotland, so I lived in the UK.
Okay.
So I did live there, but I've been through various places. But being younger, I don't really have much memory of being in Hollywood. So as an adult, going back and getting to see the stars, it was like I felt like a little kid, like, oh my gosh, look and look and look and look, at all the different celebrities' names, because everybody doesn't get to do that.
I heard though that it is not what it's all cracked up to be. It's not as big.
It's not as big. When you go see it, you're gonna be like, where is this at? This don't look all glammy and glitzy.
Mm-hmm.
No, but the experience is what you make it.
Yeah.
The experience is what you make it.
My last time being in California probably was about maybe 10 years ago. Maybe. And I'm just making this up. I don't know if that's accurate or not. But what I remember about San Diego is that it was kind of chilly. And see, my motto is I'm not going to curse tonight. I'm going to try not to curse tonight.
Okay.
But my motto is burn me the F up, right? So when I was in Palm Springs, it's super hot, like 120. And I remember being all like, comfortable. And then driving to San Diego, and you can feel the temperature change.
Yeah, because that breeze from that Pacific Ocean, that shore, that's what you're feeling.
And even
go ahead.
Yeah, even though I was in California the whole time I was there, in my mind I was like, absolutely not. I need to get back to Palm Springs where it's nice and warm. At nighttime it's like 85 degrees, just hot.
So interesting enough, where I stay at in Marietta, it gets hot like that.
Oh, that's good.
It's hot. And so, but I've gotten used to it because I'm used to the 70, 73, 75 San Diego weather.
Mm-hmm.
But recently for my birthday, I went to Atlanta. And I was used to the heat, but that humidity, I was like, yo, why am I the only person walking around sweating bullets right now?
It's very humid now, and my hands always sweat this time of year, so I don't even want to shake people's hands or nothing because that's the first thing.
No, I was like, okay, we going out celebrating. I want to feel cute, but I got sweat drops, and I'm taking my folded up paper towel, trying to be like.
Oh my goodness!
I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it out here. I'm like, woo, send me back to Cali.
But I'd rather be hot than to be cold. So for all of the people, especially my coworkers, if you're watching, y'all complain that it is so hot, right? I don't want to hear nothing in the wintertime about it being so cold because now I'm enjoying it. You should be enjoying it too. All the people that say, "Oh, it's so cold in the wintertime," I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna remind you.
Remind them.
Exactly.
You're saying what?
Yeah. So it's aspire to fly. So talk to me about. Just let everyone know what aspire to fly is.
Yeah. So Aspire to Fly presently, I'm going to take you through a little history about my business. Is a inspirational clothing line. It initially started as my coaching business. I'm a certified life coach, and so I named it Aspire to Fly. And I was adding another kind of leg because we got to diversify. And I finally was like, okay, let's do the inspirational messages. I love being able to connect with my clients and inspire them. As a teacher and educator, I do it with my students. I just naturally like to inspire, and I was like, well, I want to touch more lives. Mm-hmm. So let me do messages on shirts and hoodies and tanks and totes and things like that. To inspire people. I'm a Post-it person. I always like to write things down and stick them up and read, affirmations, declarations, and those type of things. But I'm like, sometimes you need to really connect more with it and put it on you. So that's why I was like, I want to let's wear our messages, because we're not just inspiring ourselves. There might be somebody out there else that needs that and might do something for them too. In which, God has been good, because I've seen that happen many of times where somebody's read a message like, thank you, I needed that today. Or someone, going through, who had just recently been through an abusive relationship, read one of my messages and literally just start crying at the, counter. And I'm like, wow. And, just being able to open up and start those dialogues. So it went outside the realm of me just coaching my clients and being able to touch other people's lives as well. And that's what it really was all about. I don't use Aspire to Fly for my coaching anymore, because I went and got a registered trademark. And when I was doing it, my lawyer called me and said, so I got good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? I was like, hit me with the bad news. And she was like, well, there's another Aspire to Fly. It's not just like yours, but it's a similar service. Mm-hmm. It was counseling. So I couldn't register trademark that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they can be like, oh, nope. And goes to litigation. So she's like, however, if you just use it strictly for your clothing line, you can do it. And so I had to really think about that and say, okay, I've had this name for my coaching for this long. Am I really willing to part with it? And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm okay with doing it. And going ahead, and I was like, I can rebrand my coaching later down the line and just focus on this. So that's why now Aspire to Fly is just strictly an inspirational line, in hopes to encourage, empower, and motivate people for themselves and whatever that personal need or connection is. So a message might resonate differently with you than resonates with me based off our experiences in life. So that's what Aspire to Fly is all about.
Wow, that's a lot. I have two things that I want to bring up.
Okay.
Number one, you said a life coach. So I'm always intrigued by people who say that they're a life coach, because you want to learn from someone or have someone, walk you through or coach you if they've been through something, right? Because why am I going to sit here and listen to someone who don't know anything about life? So whenever someone says that they are a life coach, the real ones, because there's a bunch of coaches out there that just want to teach you something.
Do. Yes.
It's like you've been through some things in order to be able to hold that title. So I think that I would like to be one in the future, but I'm not ready because I still have some inner work to do. So I've always said that, why you want to run around and be a life coach now? Because hell, all you're going to do is coach people to be just as jacked up as you are.
And I love, that's a good point that you bring out. I know when I went through, I didn't look for, I think coaching found me. I didn't find coaching. I'll say that. It was about 12 years ago. And like I said, I inherently like to just motivate, inspire, encourage, share a word, help people. I'm always for the underdog. I want to see people be their best. And that's just who I am innately. And I had 3 separate people at different times who did not know each other say, have you ever considered being a life coach? And I was like, wait, what? Heard it once. It didn't really do anything for me. Then I heard number 2 say it, like, and this was all within a week's time. Then a second person comes along and says it. And that was, who was that at my time? So the first person was I had a personal trainer. So he had asked me. And I was like, no, haven't thought about it. No, and then I was getting coached by someone. Said, Melissa, have you ever thought about becoming a life coach? And I was like, my personal trainer just asked me that question.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I have not. But interesting, my personal trainer asked me that question, but no, haven't thought about it. Then it was a couple days later, my mom, who is actually on here listening in at JS Publishing, hey, Mama, she said, Melissa, have you ever thought about it? And I was like, wait a minute, 3. That's 3 people within a week. So I said, let me look into this coaching thing. Let's see what this is all about. And I started doing my research, but I opened up social media, and a friend of mine that I knew in middle school had just said, hey, I just completed and graduated from this year-long life coaching program called Accomplishment Coaching. I was like, okay, wait. I literally just was like, let me look into this. And then on social media, boom, this post is right in front of my face. So you know what? The stars are aligning. Let's see what it's about. I message her, and she goes, hey, we have this thing where you can come sit in and check it out. It's all free. Just come in and check out for a couple hours. And when I sat down, like, just sometimes when you know that you know that you know that you know, it was one of those moments, right? And then they dropped down like how much it cost. I was like, ooh. I was like, wait a minute. I said, now, Lord, you done brought me this far.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen? And sometimes you got to just take the leap of faith, because God will make things happen.
Absolutely.
And which it did. I said yes. And I went through a year-long program because, like you said, how am I going to be jacked up and then being out there helping somebody else? No. So they made us do our work.
Yeah.
We had to do our work, face our dark sides. I mean, you're up in front of rooms of people like in tears, crying, and just shedding layers of your onions. You got all these layers getting right down to that core. And for a year, I had to dig deep and do my work. And with that, it just all fell in place and happened so naturally. And I was thankful that for all the things that I went through to get to that point. And so my main thing with coaching is I coach people who are rediscovering themselves and rediscovering their purpose and their passion, who might have lost themselves, because I've been there in that place where I've lost myself. And you get, especially as you get older, things change, life happens. And sometimes you sit here and you're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? Who am I? Well, I used to do this. Why am I not doing those things anymore?
Yeah.
What makes me happy? What makes me want to jump up out of bed? And so I'm that person that I'm not there to give you the answers. I'm there to be that guide on the side, to hold that mirror up to you and show you those blind spots of those things that you might be missing. So I was trained ontologically. Okay, some people that call themselves coaches, they will tell you, like, I'm going to instruct you here. This is what you need to do here, prescription. But me, it's a co-collaborative relationship that I'm having, and we're together guiding you into a better place. I can invite, if I see something, go, I want to invite you to maybe look at this or to do this. And if it doesn't feel right to that person, then that's not for them.
Right.
They don't have to. I'm not there to push anything on you that doesn't feel comfortable. But I'm also not going to let you be comfortable, if that makes sense. Because a lot of us want to sit in that comfort zone, right?
Zone. Absolutely, yeah.
And sometimes we got to shake it up and push you outside of those areas for you to really, really see if you really want to make that change and get to that point where you want to be in your life. If you're really sick and tired of being sick and tired,
that.
And sometimes some people say, yeah, but it's not necessarily, they're not ready. You have to be open and willingly to do the work, so that's what I do as a life coach.
I love that. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, what else is there to do? But I love that it finds you. Like, that's one thing. When you are searching and searching, you just seek and you ask and you stay very prayerful, and it will find you.
Yeah.
But it's all on God's timing. It's not on yours. And I got to keep reminding myself, because sometimes I'll be like, Lord, why, when, how, what's happening? So that is so amazing. And I love how you said that it's a co-creation, because it's one thing when somebody points and tries to tell you and direct you what to do. I do not recommend that at all. You have to have some input in your life. This is your life. How dare you let somebody else tell you how to, drive this ship, or, make this process go on.
Absolutely. Because everything, all the answers are there. Mm-hmm. We all have all the answers, but sometimes we get so much in our way. Uh-huh. We need somebody to support us in order to get to that destination.
I love that too. We all have the answers. The answers might be right around you. Sometimes you got to get in a little bit of turn this off, turn that off, sit with self. Absolutely. Open up your eyes and look, because sometimes there are little sayings and clues and things that are all around you, but you got so many distractions. You too busy all on social media. You too busy swiping left and swiping right and all this other nonsense that you can't even see that it has been planted right there. Sometimes I'll just be driving and I'll look up and I'll see something, and I'll be like, interesting. Let me follow that in the back because I might need that. Or numbers just pop up out of nowhere, and I keep seeing the same numbers over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, I got you. All right. I need to sit tight and just, ride this thing out.
Absolutely. And what you're talking about is being present
in the moment, which is one thing that I'm not saying we, but, I have struggled with that a lot. Not enjoying what's going on right in this moment here. Always too busy thinking ahead, too busy staying back in the past, not being present. So, yeah. So now the clothing, I have something that I want to ask. You said about putting clothes on and having the affirmations and sayings. Water bottles. Are you into the water bottles? Are you into water? Because water is life. And
look, wait a minute.
Yes. I'm so into where you write what you feel on your water bottle and you speak it, and then you drink it and you receive it.
Oh, I like that.
So if you don't have that yet, I don't know, little stickers that people put on their water bottles.
You know what?
I am love. I am life. I am, successful.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You know what? See, and this is right here. See how it's coming back around. Like you said, you got to be present and pay attention. A coworker of mine said, Melissa, you got to do stickers. Mm-hmm. Stickers so people can stick it on their water bottles and stuff. She said that to me.
I write stuff on my water bottles, but then sometimes I want to be very private too. So I have my own secret water bottle that stays close, but I don't like to take it out. But yeah, I write stuff on my water bottles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like. You know what? That's the second time I've heard that.
And then you also got to shake your water bottles up and keep this water moving, because it can't be stagnant. It can't be dead. Dead water equals, I'm not going to say it, but keep your water moving and circulating. Shake that up. Don't let it sit stagnant.
Yeah.
I think the water bottles, I heard that water bottles that we pick off of the shelf have been sitting on there for 2 years or more.
Really?
So you have to circulate that water. You got to speak good affirmations and positive things into your water and shake it up. And some people play certain music or beats to activate the water. Because if it's dead water and you ingest it, your aspirations, your dreams, and everything is dead. So you got to shake that up and make it, become alive again.
Love that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, you got me thinking, Laren.
So,
like,
we have just gotten so deep here on the 411. I just want to say thank you so much for coming through. And I had no idea that we were going to get this experience tonight. So if you can please let everyone know, because we're on several different platforms, let them know where they can go ahead and follow you at and get in contact with you.
Yeah. Instagram, my social media, and let me be truthful and transparent on this. I haven't been active since the end of March on my Instagram account, which is at aspire, the number 2 fly, because I'm in a pivoting moment here. So I'm always believing in, I don't quit. Sometimes you got to press the pause button. And you got to sit back and reflect, and then you move, right? And so, and moving is the action part. So I'm in the action part, behind the scenes, kind of doing some things that because I'm in a different mindset, and I know you asked me for contact information. I'm going down a whole nother road.
No, that's fine. You're speaking some things that I have going on in my world right now, because some things were not right. And I'm like, we're going to hit this pause button if we can't get this right. But go ahead.
Right. And so for me, with Aspire to Fly, with my audience, it's primarily a female audience, and I have a small, male audience. And I want to make sure that men, this message is for you too, it's for all people. And so I went kind of back and was like, I need to change my logo. And I was going back and forth, like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Because I felt like it had a lot of feminine energy in it. And I wanted to kind of balance it out. And so I start recreating. And so I have not really presented it to the world yet. I have it done. I have actually even changed it on my products and everything. There's still some things that I want to do because it's the way I want to come back and present it to the world on social media. So I'm taking my time with it. So again, at Aspire to Fly, Aspire, ASPIRE, the number 2 fly. Instagram is the best way. Because that's the platform I'm mostly on. My website is www.aspiretofly.com. So pretty easy, same thing. If you do happen to pop on that website, you will get a peek of what the new logo does look like, because it is up there. I just haven't been rah about it, like, oh, go check out my new logo. I haven't done any of that yet, because I want to kind of step in like a little Jay-Z, let me reintroduce myself.
I like that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. That's the best way.
Yeah. Speaking of Jay-Z, he said that he's not retired. So who knows? Maybe we get another album.
Okay. All right. Let's see show me what you got.
Maybe he might be on the Break My Soul remix. Who knows?
Oh, maybe.
Okay. So, wow, I feel like I have just been catching up with old friends, and this is the first time that we have had, yeah. So that's why I say, like, on a 4-1, you never know what you're gonna get. I learn my guests just like you are learning here, and it's always magic and it's always inspirational because it's a message behind it. And I had no idea. I didn't, we didn't go through this like that. It wasn't, scripted or anything. So this is real life. Speaking of real life, we are getting ready to do Burning Questions, which is a segment of the show where I flip it and I put my guest in a hot seat.
Lord.
I don't even know if I even had an opportunity to even go for the burning question. Usually I tell the guest, this is the burning question. I need you to think about it. but I don't want to hear anything until the show. Like, keep it to yourself. So I don't even know if we even did this. I don't think we did. We were so caught up we didn't even get into it. So
No.
real live burning question. So
All right, here we go.
what was the last thing that you had to tell yourself? Nope, you're not ready for this. You are not ready for this right here. Remember we said intuition, right? We said intuition. We said knowing when to, back up and say, this isn't for me. So,
right.
Yeah.
All truth and transparency.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that pops up for me is getting married.
Ooh. Mm.
I was in a 5-year relationship,
mm-hmm.
and I was engaged,
mm-hmm.
and there were already some things that I saw early on, some red flags, and sometimes you just hope and pray, like, okay, because they love me, they go get it together and get better. And I finally come to a moment after becoming functionally depressed, and where it was like, and I was literally got like, okay, is this what we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this is not for me.
Mm.
He's not my person.
I guess he saved you. Wow. Listen.
And it was one of the hardest things that I had to do. I mean, 5 years invested, and but I had to walk away. I had to walk away from that because it was holding me back. I can't go where God needs me to go with someone that has a victim mentality and doesn't want to. It doesn't mean that person's a bad person. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? And where it's, well, why are you on social media all the time? It's, well, I've got to do my business. Who's going to be putting it out there? Oh, why are you're talking like this with your clients and what? So, I mean, I was, I would get a lot of, he was trying to make me feel guilty for, wanting to better myself, to leave a legacy, to build my empire. And I mean, there's just a lot of different, without going into like super detail, but there's a lot of different layers, but just sharing that, my business, my professional part of that relationship where it was just, so if it was like that for that part, you could probably only imagine the other areas of my life. And I had to be like, that's not for me. That's not my person.
Right.
And, so I've been most definitely, it's been almost 2 years now since that I made that decision. So, sometimes like this pivoting, I'm doing a lot of things that was set back for me that I, now being in a better mindset and place for myself, I'm able to go with a new set pair of lenses, new view, a new vision, and be able to really fully put my all into what it is that I foresee for myself. Because I don't think if I would have stayed in that, I wouldn't be sitting right now here with you.
Absolutely.
Having this conversation,
Absolutely. Yeah. I want you to get off my phone right now. I want you to get off of this phone right now because it's like some similarities in the things. Mine wasn't marriage. Like I was in a marriage that didn't work for me, and becoming depressed, like you said, and not being able to be the creative being that I knew I had at, a child. And, you put it on hold because, kids, family, which is fine. But then when you get into something, you really can't be yourself, because I put it on hold for a short while, but I thought I was going to be able to do it again when I got older. But I found myself not being able to do that. And then that's when all of the depression and all of the attitude and anger and all that came out. So fast forward, we get past that. So you and I, we could relate on that. But when you start to think that you're going to date again, and you think that you're going to get into it, and you see some of the same signs, then I'm like, this ain't for me. And then I try it again, and then this ain't for me. Same thing. Why are you on social media? I didn't think that people would actually be jealous of the 4-in-1 podcast, but I've had several dates that had a problem. So
Yeah, and if they got a problem with it, no, then that's not for you.
I'm like, that's weird. That's crazy, and that's a little strange. So I'll be very leery about telling people what I do at first because I want you to get to know me first, and then after that, I want to see if you can handle that. And it always comes out one way or the other, and I'm like,
absolutely,
yeah. But yeah, the most recent thing was like dating. I'm like, no, this isn't for me. I thought that I'd be okay, but at this moment, at this time, it's not for me. That situation is going to have to come find me instead of me trying to find it.
And what will happen, and because I can understand and it resonates with me when you're like, oh, it's not for me, it's not for me. Because I mean, I've had a couple dates here and there, and then as soon as I see something, I'm like, no, thank you. Not going to do that. I'm really focused on me and my development, my health, my personal growth, my just investing in me.
Exactly.
That's where it's all going, because I get this right, and because that first year after I went through calling off the engagement and everything, and I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I choose a word or words. So mine was self-love, because I lost that. And so I've been pouring my love into myself, you know?
Yeah.
And so everything evolves around investing in me, because guess what? It's like when you go on the airplane, you know what I mean? If it's coming down and the mask come down, they don't go, okay, well, let me go put it on little Bobby right here, and then I'll put it on myself. By the time you get to yourself, you didn't pass out and wet. You know what I mean? So I need to put that oxygen on me, because without me, who's going to take care of my household? Exactly. Who's going to, who's going to run my business? Who's going to do all those things? So I got to pour into my bucket. And once, I get to that place, that energy that I'm emitting out there, that right person's going to be on that same frequency, and they're going to come on my way. So that's how I'm going about it.
I agree. I mean, self-love is the most important thing. When you lack self-love and you don't know who you are, that's when you are lost. And I have been lost for so many years, and now is the opportunity where I'm finding myself, right? So because you find yourself, you start to feel good. You're like, all right, I got this. And then you step out a little bit and you're like, nope, we need to back this thing up a little bit. And then,
that's
fear. What I'm saying? We keep
that's fear. So what are you afraid? Okay, wait. I'm trying not to put my coaching hat on.
I think
what are you afraid of?
No, I think that I have dumbed myself down for everybody since day one, because I didn't know who I was. I was afraid. I was scared. I couldn't be who I was. The whole nine. I've dumbed myself down for every single relationship. So the pandemic happened, and I was forced to be by myself for 2 years. We're almost working on 3 years. That allowed me to tap into what this whole thing of self-love is and learning who Laren is. So although this is only 2 years, you've been playing this game for almost 2 decades now, right? So you only did this for 2 years versus 2 decades. That's not enough time. So it's like the universe is telling me no, because I know that person is there waiting when I get myself together. But right now, I'm just not there yet. But it's having that patience and waiting.
Absolutely.
Someone who's going to support this whole process, maybe even be a part of this whole process. That's what I'm waiting for, and I just don't see it yet. So I say, nah, bro, this ain't for you right now. This is not for you right now.
If I can invite you to think about, and it's not even, and I'm not even saying like go out there, go find someone, but like you said, you've been doing this for decades, so you've got a lot of old stories playing, old records, or like I like to call them.
I say old records. That's me, the old records.
Old records coming back and going, what you think you're doing? You can't do that, or whatever it is. And there's got to be something. So something that I do for myself, I go. So when an old story comes up, I'll say delete. And then I give myself something, the affirmative of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, or like with me, okay, so you see how I got these cut off, a tank on or whatever, and wearing my arms out. All right. So I'll explain something. So, I put on some weight and I'm going through a process of losing, I don't even want to say lose, because when you lose, you can find something. So I say releasing.
There you go, release, yeah.
Releasing weight, right? And so, but, my arms are not all cut up or whatever, but I can look at myself in the mirror and go, girl, why you got them arms out like that? Them arms ain't all cut up. You shouldn't have them. And then it's like, delete. You are beautiful. You are worthy.
Absolutely.
This is who you are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Embrace it. So when those old stories try to pop up, it's delete. Yeah. And then I give myself a new message. Or sometimes some people, as a reminder, they wear something around like a bracelet, like I wear like a tiger's eye or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, that bracelet or something, you can make that as a symbolic, like reminding you, like, okay, those old stories come up. You see your bracelet as a reminder to give you a message of the affirmative. So there's things that you can put in place, little toolbox of what you can do.
I have stones that I carry around with me. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yep. Replace those stories, those old records, with some new.
I'm open. I don't have my heart shut. Listen, I have been on planes and I have flew to another country.
Okay, I love it.
For stuff, but that's it. No searching. I have to wait till the opportunity,
I agree.
Comes, but
great. I agree.
So we have been inspired, and we are ready to fly at this moment.
That's right.
This is amazing. Yes. This has been a great experience. I will say this was needed. I have been going through some personal things myself. So the conversation that I have with you, and I'm so glad we decided to do the whole face-to-face thing, because it definitely makes it work, and it's a beautiful experience. But hopefully everybody out here tonight, you got a great show, because listen, we have been through some things here on a 411 podcast, and I am praying that once we end, that the aftermath of this is just a beautiful thing, and that somebody gets the story and it helps someone, because that's what it's all about. That's what I'm here to do. So,
amen. I love it. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a delight. I feel tremendously blessed that you even thought about me and reached out to me. And I am so humbled, and I just look forward to continuing our relationship.
Absolutely.
And learning more about each other, and seeing us grow exponentially.
Yeah. And you're from California, so California love.
That's right, always.
Mm-hmm. Well, take care. Let everyone know one more time where they can get your info and all that great stuff.
Yes. So if you want to be inspired and find messages like I am worthy, and to focus on progress, not perfection, and know that you're in a moment of transition, but another dope version of you is going to emerge. Those are some of my messages that I have on some tees and some hoodies. Go check me out at www.aspire2fly.com. And you can check me out on Instagram at aspire2fly. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. And take care.
Too, Larry.
We will definitely be in touch. I'll be in touch.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
All right.
Take
care now.
All right, let me get out of here. All right.
Bye. So that was an amazing experience. And again, I hope that somebody is listening to this and they get the message. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone. YouTube, TikTok, DLive, Twitch, Daily Motion. Sometimes there's only a few people this night, and then some nights it's like 20 and 30 and whatever else. So I don't know what type of night this was, but I did see some action going out there on Facebook. So Facebook might have been lit up tonight. I know Instagram definitely. Melissa brought some people through on Instagram. So whatever, any case you're at, please go ahead and like, comment, share, tag your friends, because you never know what people will get from the 411 podcast. Some nights we laugh, some nights we cry, we go through this journey, and this is so important to me. So feedback is definitely needed. So if there's something that you like, like, whatever. Drop me a comment. You can also text me at 609-738-0611. Now, if you would like to go ahead and support the 411 podcast or Reading Between the Wines, go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms, and you can go inside of Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal. This is a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. The conversation that we had tonight, the person that I am today, the man that I am today, was not always what you see here. So this is a progress, this is a journey, and I'm giving you a little bit about my past. I'm telling you where I'm at currently, and I'm also writing my destiny, and I'm leaving it open for you to do the same in this remix journal. So this is all a process of becoming the master of your own mind, something that will never really be achieved. You have to continue to keep chipping at it and working at it, because your mind is so powerful. You are so powerful, but your mind can trick you into thinking that you are less than. And today, the man that I am today, I've listened to so many people tell me in the past of, you're not going to do this, you're that. Always, probably since the age of 5, I remember people telling me what I was when I didn't even know what I was. So today you don't get to tell me who I am. I tell you who I am. So you do the same. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, and don't let anybody go ahead and, write your destiny for you. You do it. Start journaling. Start telling yourself, speak those affirmations. Speak life. Live. Love. Don't worry about what anybody has to say. And on that note, what's going on, Neil from United Advertising? He was on a couple nights ago, so go ahead and check that replay. But on that note, I would not be here today. My executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you the 411 podcast Common Life. I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there, and I will see you when I see you. And I want to say thank you so much to my special guest tonight. She did an amazing job. Y'all go ahead and check her out. This was a show tonight. And what more can I say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Good night.